Welcome to Doom for Noobs, a new series where we badly break down the long history of the Doom games, its lore and characters, in a way that even the most drunk of us can understand. In episode 1, we shall first be dissecting the simp, that is the Imp, one of the many denizens of hell, who is essentially no more than cannon fodder for the Slayer. And while they don't pose the biggest threat, I'm sure many of us are ashamed to admit they've made us experience a game over screen or two. So join us as we ask ourselves, what is Imp? Is the Imp important? Who be Imp? Am I an Imp? Is the Imp impotent? Does the Imp like Imp Hub? All these questions and more will probably not be answered in today's show. Lore of the Imp. The Imps are some of the most common natives of the Hellscape. They live as scavengers of the Underworld. They are unintelligent and are primarily motivated by the urge to hunt. This predatory instinct combined with a talent for violence makes them a common sight in the armies of hell as expendable cannon fodder. What is Imp? Good question. The English dictionary states that an imp is a small mischievous devil or sprite. But in the Doom series, that's simply not true, as an imp is a brown, clawed, hench arsehole who likes to throw fireballs from you at a distance and will slash your throat out if you get too close. Where can see Imp? In the games, of course. The Imp first appeared in the original Doom way back in 1993. No matter what Doom game you decide to play, you shall be greeted by the Imp, as the Hellspawn is considered a common enemy in the series, and also appears in higher numbers than any other demon. So just boot a Doom game up, and you shall see the Imp. He's basically that Pokemon in Pokemon Go that pops up time and time again just to piss you off. What Imp look like? The Imp is ugly. I mean real ugly. Kinda looking like something you would take home after one too many beers.
Ugly motherfucker.
As the games evolved, so has the Imp, and the little pyromaniac has seen many iterations and redesigns. In the original games, the Imp is mostly humanoid in appearance and size, but unlike your typical mouth breather, the Imp has razor-sharp claws, red eyes, and lots of spikes protruding from its body. In Doom 64, however, while still a hulking mass of brown muscle, the Imp was much sleeker and only had a few spikes this time. The mouth was removed, and the eyes were enlarged, and the overall design looked a lot more alien in appearance overall. We then got our next big impish design change in Doom the Third. The Imp in Doom 3 was much taller and thinner, so much so that you can see the Imp's ribs through its skin. The skin on its arms also had a scale-like appearance to them. Another major visual difference was this iteration of the Imp no longer had two eyes, but instead this time the Imp had several. Once again, the Imps would change their overall appearance for 2016's Doom and Doom Eternal, with the latter game's Imp design more closely resembling the design of the original. Colour, spikes, red eyes, and all that jazz. But the new games also added their own flair to the demon, giving him a more hunch, ape-like stance, and the body has an armour-esque look to it. But one thing is for certain, they all look the same when they're full of lead. What Imp do? Originally, the Imp liked to be as slow as me trying to order a kebab after a heavy sesh. But unlike me, the Imp has fireball yeeting ranged attacks and slashing melee attacks. But don't worry, as these attacks can be easily evaded with some well-timed strafing. The Imp did get some new abilities with its latter iterations though, making it far more agile and fast. Dodging, climbing, and lunging were all added to the Imp's arsenal, as well as the ability to charge up his fireballs, kinda like Goku. But with all that being said, as long as you have the ammo, the Imp will still not pose much of a threat, only ever really being a hindrance if the games threw multiple of the twats at you at once. Imp still goes strong? Yes, even with the latest entry to the Doom franchise, the Imp is still around for you to slay your way. The modern iteration takes elements of the original Doom Imp's appearance and fuses it with the abilities and prowess of the Doom 3's Imp. what imps sound like. Unfortunately, I'm not adverse in the language of the imp, but luckily the archaeologists of Hell have recorded the imp and his sounds in his natural habitat. Let's take a listen. Imp go bang? Yes, indeed, the imp does go bang. Your shotgun is your best friend against the imp, but all weaponry is sufficient enough to take down an imp. Even a few rounds from a pistol will thwart these little buggers. I see imp elsewhere. Yes, the imp has been seen outside of the games, and is in both of the Doom movies, as well as appearing in the Doom comic and novels, and even the board game. Imp be different. Yes, there are a few different variations of the imp, like the Impling, Imp Lord, Stone Imp, Nightmare Imp, and in the pits of hell in Doom 3, you can find imps that look burnt and flayed, Ramsay Bolton style. So that does it for our Doom for Noobs imp episode. I'm really tired of saying the word imp at this point, so I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please let us know what you thought down in the comments below, and what character you would like us to cover next. Don't forget to click that like button, and if you're new here, don't be a noob, make sure you're subscribed. Until next time, you stay tipsy.